What is up, YouTube or internet or wherever the heck you are? I am Taylor. Welcome back to my channel, and this is my review of The Sixth Gun, Volume 1. The hell is it called? Cold Dead Fingers by Cullen Bunn and Brian Hurt. Cullen Bunn did the writing. He's written a bunch of stuff, a lot of which I'm hit or miss on Cullen Bunn. And so I'm going to talk about that a little bit. And Brian Hurt did the illustration, the lettering, and most of the coloring on this. He just didn't color the last issue of this, but the colorist on the last one, actually, I think I probably like better than his coloring. But anyway, yeah, this is the story of the Sixth Gun. A little bit of spoilers from here on out. Also, you can win this book. Keep watching to figure out how. I'll let you know later in this vid how to win the book. Because I'll give it away to you. Yeah, because someone else could read it. But yeah, overall, yeah, it's fine. There you go. There's my view. No, it's not bad. It's like I said, Cullen Bunn is hit or miss for me, and like I have trouble getting past first issues of a lot of his stuff because I don't love the way he introduces stories, and this honestly is not. Yeah, it's not really any different. There's a part with the Pinkertons, which is a this is set in the Wild West, Old West, whatever, and it's a horror story, blah 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 blah. But it starts with the Pinkertons being tasked to find something. And then the Pinkertons are kind of never really addressed again throughout this thing. And it's a weird sort of intro. I mean, I think you could just sort of skip that whole bit and get into the other part. There's the anti-hero slash protagonist slash main character Drake Sinclair is introduced halfway through the issue, but of this, and yeah, I don't. It's a confusing intro because the character design of Drake and Sinclair is very similar to one of the Pinkertons, and so I had to go back and reread to make sure it's not the same character. But no, there's a thicker mustache on the Pinkerton. That's kind of the big difference visually, and it's not enough of a visual clue to like keep the audience engaged by it. Yeah, and then once it gets going, though, I will give credit where credit's due. Cullen's writing does take a bit of a turn, and it gets better. It's a chase book for the most part. This whole thing is pretty much a chase sequence and culminates in the end of the chase. So, you know, there's that. And yeah, it's like I said, it's a horror story. There's six guns. They all have magical powers, and like Becky Moncrief ends up with one of the guns, and it's the sixth one, folks. Hence the title, the titular gun, and it. Yeah, from there the chase ensues, and yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it kind of reads like a B-list horror movie, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that's just kind of my impression of it. It's an entertaining chase book, and it's pretty one-dimensional. The evil characters are evil just to be evil, and the good characters, well, like the Drake Sinclair is supposed to be this anti-hero, this evil person that's done a lot of bad things in the past, although they really don't say what the bad things are. He does one kind of dickish move in the beginning, and then after that, he's a straight-up good guy. Like, there's not any, like, signs of evil anymore, although they keep referencing the fact that he was a really bad guy. They just don't really get into it, which is a little bizarre. And then the evil character is like, there's an evil general, and he's got evil henchmen that follow him just because they're evil, and they're henchmen, and they have guns, and they're evil, and they're henchy and many, and there's overwhelming odds that get less and less overwhelming as time goes on, and as the protagonists even the odds, and it's not bad. It really isn't. It's just kind of yeah, it's just kind of simple, and which I like. It's and fairly straightforward. The art also is fairly straightforward and simple. I don't have a lot of issues with it other than the character design in the beginning, which didn't really bug me. And then when you get into the sixth issue, for whatever reason, they have a lot of cross-panel or cross-page layouts. And, like, I hate it. It makes it harder to read. It doesn't follow the natural page flow, and there's not a lot of reason for it. Like, there's not, like, really anything extraordinarily largely dynamic in most of the panels. This one's probably the exception where there's a large overplaying Heathcliff thing. I can see it there, but for the most part, there's not enough going on in this to justify this kind of weird layout. And the end is fairly satisfying. It does have a resolution to this, which I do appreciate. I appreciate the fact that this trade paperback does have a solid ending of this arc. A lot of these like collected issues I've been reading lately just kind of don't, but this one does. And yeah, back to Brian Hurt's art for a minute. I know I'm kind of rambling all over the place, but it's what I do, folks. It's what I do. It's fairly simple. The line weight on the inking is pretty simple as well, and there's not a lot of backgrounds. So like the backgrounds are mostly delineated through color and stuff, and so which isn't always a bad thing. It makes it fairly easy to follow for the most part. There are some transitions in here that are a little bit tough and jarring, where you're like, "What the hell just happened?" And would we just jump scenes, or like what? And then you have to end up like circling back, trying to figure out what the hell went on. And that's some of that's on the writing, and some of that's on the art. But it's not awful. I don't love this book. I probably won't keep reading it any further, which is one of the reasons I'm giving it away. But it's not a bad little romp, and I have a feeling other folks are going to get more mileage out of it than I will. It's I like westerns and I like horror. I sort of like horror. Like horror is just not my main genre of choice. It just kind of takes a lot to really get me to love a horror book. And this really, when I say horror, it's not like a typical horror movie. This is more supernatural horror fantasy, like where the main characters and the evil characters all have these powers that are not natural, and there's giant end of the world stakes in here, or beginning of the world, or something in the world, and yeah, so it's got a lot of that in it, which is not bad. It's just I don't think it's anything spectacular. I think it was optioned for a show, and they made a pilot and didn't go anywhere. I'm not nowadays. I got a feeling Netflix would probably do something with this and make it into a mediocre TV show, which was fine. I think it's an okay book. I think the my biggest issues, like I said, are the intro. I don't love. The characters are really pretty shallow, and like Becky Moncrief especially, like there's not much to her, and I think it would be a better story if they focused on her and like developed her. And also like the Drake Sinclair, if they actually made him a little bit evil, like they keep claiming he's evil, but he's not actually, doesn't do anything evil. So yeah, it minor little nitpicking, I guess, but I've read a lot worse about that. I've read a lot better, but it's fairly average, probably above average actually. It probably is about a 7.5, 8.0 for doing the weirdo comic book scale, going up to 9.8-ish. So, I don't know. Let me know what you thought about it. If you've read this before, let me know in the comments. If you want to read it, here's how you can. I'm going to give this book away. It's going to be U.S. residents only. I'm not paying for international shipping because I'm a cheap son of a bitch. I'm kind of evil like Drake Sinclair. And yeah, it's pretty simple. Just leave a comment down below with either an artist or an author that is hit or miss for you, that you just don't always love. So leave that comment down below. You're going to have 1 week to do it. Today is October 12th. So October 19th, I'll be giving this away. And here's the other kicker. I've tried doing this before, and like a lot of people don't claim the books. I am not going to reach out to you if you win, because that's not the point of this. I want you to watch my next video. I know it's all chicanery and a whole lot of work. But if you want to win this book, watch next week's video to find out if you did. So leave a comment about an author and or artist you just don't always love in the comments, and then follow up. Watch next week's. Also, one other stipulation I'm going to ask of you, because if I'm giving these things away, it's just I think it's probably the least anybody could do, and I try and think it's fair to, when I'm subscribing to other people's stuff, watching stuff and trying to win giveaways or whatever, subscribe. Hit the like button. Hit the notification bell. Do all of those things, please. It really helps the channel out. I'm trying to get to 1,000. I will do more giveaways once I get to 1,000. And I do actually on a maybe not regular basis, but I do give away trade paperbacks on some of these reviews. So if you want to win others, let me know. Or watch, subscribe, hit the subscribe. That's the big thing, and then the notification bell, because then you'll know when the next video comes out, and you'll know if you won if you watch the next one. See, I know it's all jumbly all over the place, like most of my reviews are. That's all I got. I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah, don't be a dick, even if you have a gun that's sort of weirdly supernatural and you can shoot people. Probably just shoot dicks, but not with your dick. I don't know. Whatever. That's a horrible ending, but I'm gonna stick with it. Later.